The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Coming up on today's show,
our word for the week this week is cherry.
As well, we're going to be looking at Timmy's top 5 yoga poses.
And part 2 of our interview with Olympic Gold Medalist, Rebagliati.
You nailed it.
Thank you.
This podcast is for adults only, should not be used as a meal replacement, and may contain nuts.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Noobie and the Doobie. My name is Timmy. I am the Noobie.
Marijane, I am the Doobie.
Today we are celebrating Yoga Day.
That's right. I feel like Y-O-G-A.
Oh, I like that. That's cute. Do that again.
Really?
Yeah.
Y-O-G-A.
That's kind of like a W. Put those arms up.
I don't.
Loud and proud.
Look. Do
what?
you see?
What, because your wrists go back? Oh! How did I never notice that before?
Really?
I think I just gave our producer probably a big loud earful there.
Okay, get this camera. Get this camera.
I've never seen that before.
Close your eyes.
How have I never... Wait, no. What? Oh, jeez. Wait, I think I just heard you twist... Oh, my God. How did I not know this?
That's why I try not to put my arms up
How did I not
too much, because I'm like, wait, this is like
I can't
straight.
not see it now. Oh.
And I don't even do yoga. Y-O-G-A.
I've known you for over 3 years.
Yep. You don't have different thumbs too, right? Like my thumbs don't match.
No, I understand that.
No, you seen
I'm
that.
sorry, I'm not even close to my mic now. That was a legitimate...
He's like totally grossed out. That was awesome.
Look, there are some things on this show that we plan. Most of the show we don't. And that was one of those. How did I not...
When am I ever...
When do you ever do this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
For the longest time, I won't extend...
You can't not see it now.
I love you.
I said...
What was that, right? I said I love you. That's funny. Remember that thing you said to me the other day? What did I say? You said, I don't need to understand you to love you. And that's okay with me.
I don't need to understand to love. Yeah, I love
so
you.
You don't need to understand that my arms go backwards. You just
no, I don't
me.
need to understand it, but I cannot not see it now.
Well, of course you cannot see it because I'm just got my arms like this.
No,
now.
I know, but now
you're looking at my arms like they're not real.
Okay, so that was. I thought we were gonna come on. We were gonna talk about yoga because I regularly.
Y-O-G-A.
If you don't yet, after all the episodes that we've done, if you do not yet understand why you need to watch this on YouTube and not just listen to it
you have
in
no idea
podcast
what
form,
just happened.
You have just missed out one of many treats that can... Jeez. Okay. All right. So, guaranteed, if this doesn't alone let our YouTube views on this video go up with people going, what just happened? What did she do? Go check that out. Are you done? Do you have any other morphines that you need to do?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Now,
I'll save those for another 5 years from now.
Some people right now are going to think that this transition is going to somehow disprove my statement that we didn't plan what just happened. Because
what are you going to say?
Well, I'm about to talk about extreme flexibility. I swear to you, I didn't know that was going to happen. When we sat down,
that's not flexibility. That's like disjointness. So
she said she was going to. What would you say you were?
I wanted
to
do a headstand.
She said she was going to do a headstand
on the chair.
We were talking about how we were going to make that happen here, and then we got counted in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She goes, "Look what I can do!" Oh no, that's not what we had planned. Look what I can do. Okay, so
Like Stewart.
look, what's his voice? I can't do it.
Look what I can do. That's good, Stewart. That's good.
That was on Mad TV,
Oh,
right?
I love Mad TV.
Okay, so
He looking like a man. Okay, I'll stop.
okay, so I want to say, I don't know. I'm trying to somehow get my mind off this. So let's just quickly transition here. So, I do yoga on a regular basis.
Daily.
It
Multiple times a day sometimes.
I will say this once and once only on this episode. I'll say it many more times on other episodes. Yoga changed my life. Okay. The flexibility, the strength, I thought it was just for women and for flexibility. Guys, that was wrong. Wrong thinking. The first time I saw a bead of sweat drop from my forehead onto my mat, I was like, oh my goodness, this is doing something else. These yoga shoulders weren't there before. Just strength in general, just inner calmness, the breathing, the ability to do that, the flexibility, the strength all around, core, just all of it. We don't even have the space here, but check out our social media. I'm sure sometime during this week we will put something up there or a few things that show various
I'll definitely be
yoga
doing a
things.
headstand at some point.
So we go to check that out. But what I wanted to bring to the table on this one is the fact that I do what's called Yo-Jo yoga. Well, it's what I called Yo-Jo yoga because I was the one who named it.
Yo-Jo.
I have my G.I. Joe set up. I have all my G.I. Joes. It was like one of my few prized collection pieces. And I do my yoga in front of it. I have some pictures on my my Instagram at The Real Timmy Boyle called Yo-Jo yoga. And when
you told me an interesting fact about G.I. Joes and yoga.
I know.
And why you do the yoga in front of the G.I. Joes.
It's a good reminder for me. So this little guy here, I don't know what you can see on the camera. Black on black probably doesn't work, but so this is Torpedo. It was the very first.
I'm just going to put that behind him because, okay, there you go.
Back here. He was the very first G.I. Joe figure I ever bought. I have over 100 of these men in this nice little tin at home. He's got a little bit faded. You can see what color he used to be on the gray there.
A little bit faded. It looks pretty much brand new. How old is that thing you said?
Oh, this would be, early 80s?
Yeah, so...
I think, so my guys are, because I didn't play with my G.I. Joes. I displayed them. So other than some dust, I think they're all in some really good shape. So this is Torpedo. My thing, though, that I found very interesting, though, is I was watching a show called The Toys That Made Us on Netflix, I think 1980s. And then for those who know me, the 80s is my jam. I'm an 80s prophet. But see the movement that they have, like the joints?
Can actually bend the elbows and the knees.
Elbows and knees and stuff. Okay. Before these guys came out, if I remember any of this correctly, but listen, we're not scientists. We don't even call ourselves truth tellers sometimes.
And we don't work for the toy department.
No, we will try to do my best to recall this. So the thing I found fascinating was before this, they had the 3-inch guys, the Star Wars characters came out in their late 70s. But their arms, they only did this.
Like the Barbies, the straight legs,
straight legs, straight arms.
Yeah.
So the G.I. Joe developers were trying to figure out, what do we do? How do we take this to the next level? And if I got the story anywhere correct, one of their people was walking in a street, looked in an art store, saw those mannequins that can move, that
the little wooden
all
guys.
Flexible wooden mannequins.
Yes.
Bought a whole bunch of them, brought them back to the workplace, whatever it may be, and basically said, this is what we need to do. And G.I. Joe, I believe, became, as a result of that, what would have been called fully posable. Now, they've gone another step forward. The ones later on, I think even the wrists.
The fully opposable thumb? Do they give you the thumb?
I don't think they have the thumb. But this extra joint stuff, the Star Wars guys didn't have. G.I. Joe brought this in, and it was all a result of, once again, great ideas sometimes come from places you're not looking for them. And he was just looking around, saw these things in the art store and went, that's it. And hence these little posable figures were born. And so Star Wars figures, Luke, he's a Jedi Knight. He can't do the splits. But Torpedo can, and I can almost do it too. Stay tuned. try to watch that video possibly on our social media as well.
It's funny that wasn't the splits.
But this
That's
is
about
Torpedo.
as well as I could do the splits.
Look, you can do the full splits.
That's
Isn't that awesome?
more impressive than the Star Wars.
Yojo
for sure.
Yoga. That's what I do. Check out our social media. For
When
more
was the last time
information
you bought a G.I. Joe? Because maybe they do have opposable thumbs now.
Jeez, long time ago.
Maybe they do.
We're talking early 90s would have been the last. It could have been. I don't know.
I'm going to have to Google this and see what a G.I. Joe
When I took all my
looks like
G.I.
now.
Joes out of their containers and stuff, they were all wrapped up to finally display them, because now I have space to display them for the first time. They were wrapped up in newspapers from 1993.
Wow.
So they are now out on display, not fully, but on their way to full display. But this is Torpedo, fresh out of that box.
Out of storage.
Out of storage. So there you go. So happy Yoga Day.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing one of your collectibles with us.
Thank you. My kids weren't even ever allowed to touch them. Although I think one of my kids has claimed all my G.I. Joes when I die. That seems to be, I think that was one of the things they claimed.
It's funny. Wasn't it just their birthday, too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was
But
Jade's
he's
birthday.
not gone yet. So you
can't have my G.I. Joes yet,
yes,
Jade.
but they are yours.
But I hope your birthday was great. Whose
Speaking of
birthdays?
birthdays.
Yes, well, very good transition.
Right?
We're nailing the transitions today.
Yeah, we've got someone else who nailed transitions in High School Musical.
Oh, look at this.
Vanessa Hudgens.
Look, people, we may not be truth tellers, but we are professional.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Professional shit tellers. No, shit. No shit in there.
No.
No.
All right.
I can't think of the word. Anyways, not professional there. So Vanessa Hudgens turns 33.
She's a High School Musical.
Yeah, I believe so.
I am a Sharpay fan to the core.
That was the blonde one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the only thing good of the Zach and Cody shows, too. Those Zach and Cody. I hated those. Zach and Cody, those twins.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those annoying TV shows.
The
that my
Sweet
kids-
Life?
Oh.
Oh, no.
If it wasn't for what's her name that played the same girl that played Sharpay.
Okay.
What's her name?
I'm pulling a blank. I'm pulling a blank.
You think of that. I'm gonna.
Okay, so think of the next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just see Sharpay.
Ashley Tisdale.
Okay,
Ashley Tisdale.
okay.
Without her, Zach and Cody would have been the worst show possibly on TV. Is that even their name? Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
It, yeah. Horrible
Yeah.
show. Horrible show. Ashley made that whole show. Go ahead.
Okay, and
Happy
the last,
birthday to Vanessa.
The last birthday we're talking or celebrating today is King George VI.
King George. Now you said that.
Yes.
And I looked up who King George VI was.
Okay.
I thought this was somebody who would have died back in the 1700s.
You know, like King George VI.
Yeah, right? Because it sounds like this, but
Well, I thought so because I'm like, oh, he would have been 126. Like, that's old.
he
But
died in like the 1950s.
what did he do? Like, was he the king of what?
I don't know who he was, but we put him on
Is
the
there a
list.
King George VII?
Maybe that's Will and Kate's son. His name's George.
No, that's not right.
No? I don't
No,
know.
because then the dad, it would be like,
But isn't it weird though? I thought it was weird that there was a King George the Sixth that was born in died in the 1950s. That just it sounds like medieval.
like the artist formerly known as Prince.
Well, that sounds very 90s and 80s.
But that's what I mean. It was like, it's weird for King George
Hi, I'm
VI.
King George the Sixth. It's like the 1950s. You're what?
I don't know.
That seemed weird. But happy birthday to that dead man.
Yeah, 126. Looking good.
Well, shall we get this thing rolling?
Oh, I'm always ready for that.
Roll it. Well, it is time for yet another word of the week. Mary Jane, what is the word? The word is the word. That was a song, right?
It's
The
a
bird-
bird.
Oh, the bird is the
Well,
word.
bird. How did you not know that? Well, everybody knows about the bird, yeah. No, I messed up the words. Moving on.
What is the bird, Mary Jane?
The word is cherry, or also known as the heater.
The heater.
The heater.
Give him the heater, Ricky.
No, you don't
Do you know
want
what that
the
movie's
heater.
from? You're always-
Trailer Park Boys?
She lives off of.
The only
like-
Ricky I know is from Trailer Park Boys.
She lives off of the thing of play me a little bit of a song or do a quote from a movie, and always is like, "What's that from?" And I never ever know. And then she's always like, "Oh, how can you not know?" And then it's a big, long, week-long battle. Anyways, I'm throwing it out here on the show. Give him the heater, Ricky.
Trailer Park Boys.
No.
That is the only
from Major League, one of the best baseball movies ever. Charlie Sheen, and the manager yells out, "Throw him the heater, Ricky."
Okay, well, this is a different heater.
Okay, but
you don't want to catch this heater.
I always what I'm enjoying too is word of the week now. Is going into this every once in a while. There's like, this is the word of the week, which is also known as this word, which is also known as this word, which is sometimes known as this word.
Well, we could call it the cherry.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But then you'd be like, some people call it the heater.
Okay. So it's 2 words.
Yes. Well, it's
bonus
it's
episode.
The same thing.
Bonus
it's like
episode.
potato.
Okay, so I'm assuming there's a reason why it's called both the cherry and the heater. There must be a connection here.
Yes. Okay, so it's the red hot glowing bowl on the bong or the red hot end of the joint. So it's called the cherry most of the time because it looks like a cherry. It's red.
Yep.
It's round because it's either in the bowl or it's on the joint. They also call it the heater because it's hot.
Makes perfect sense.
Right? So I always say the rule of thumb, if it's red, it's not dead. Okay?
Like this record circle right there.
If it's red, it's not dead. We're still going.
How many times have we recorded when that circle wasn't there and then wondered what went wrong?
You know, the best is when we go over and hit stop and it's actually recording. You're like, oh.
Funny in hindsight, not when it happened.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if it's still red, it's not dead, keep smoking.
Okay.
This also is the #1 reason why you should not consume cannabis while in a moving vehicle. Okay?
Okay.
Don't smoke and drive.
#1 reason.
I'm like, I feel like I should have another rhyme here. Like, don't drop the heater in your cedar.
That's a good one, actually.
Right?
Don't drop the heater in your cedar.
Oh, how about this? If you drop the cherry, it's going to be scary.
I like both those.
Because it is. Like,
right.
you just don't do it.
This is more than word of the week. This is like literally like...
Life lessons.
Life lessons from MJ.
Yeah.
Literally.
And it's illegal. Hello. Reason #1 right there.
I love how that was... Yeah. Okay, what was it though? Don't drop the heater in your cedar.
Yep.
And what was the other one?
If you drop the cherry, it's going to be scary.
Drop the scary, yeah. Drop the cherry is going to be scary.
You're already tongue-tied.
I'm actually just surprised that this segment is already done.
We're done.
We ended. Those are 2 good phrases to end it on.
It is.
Yeah. There was your words of the week. Today's high 5 list is Timmy's top 5 yoga poses. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know if I would ever have a high 5 list of favorite yoga poses.
Didn't you actually used to preach against yoga?
I used to preach against yoga. I was I thought it was for women. I thought it was for flexibility, and that was it. I didn't think you could get a workout of it. I mean, it is no secret that there was a point in my life where yoga was a joke, and it has now radically changed my life. But I am here to tell you that there are 5 very, very, very helpful moves that not only helped me with health and strength and balance.
Are you going to go to the shoulders?
Well, they did help create and form these amazing yoga shoulders.
I feel like I should
This is why you watch the show and don't just listen to the show. So if you've been listening on podcast form, thank you.
But you're missing the shoulders.
Namaste, but you're not getting the shoulders. So these were also, not only did I see improvements in my body because of learning these poses,
okay.
But they also, each one of them along the way kind of were signposts to show that yoga was working.
Okay.
Right? So it was like I would look around the room and be like, why can't I do that? Because there'd be like, when I first went, there'd be like, I don't know, like a 60-year-old woman who, I don't know, I don't want to guess their ages. They're older than me.
An older woman.
And I was sitting there thinking, I can do that. And then they'd be holding these poses and I'm like, I can't do that. But each one of these poses was a place where I was like, oh, wait a minute, I can do this pose now. And each one blew my mind a little bit more. And I realized this thing is actually beneficial.
Yeah, you took me to one of your yoga classes, and I don't know about the beneficial part.
It is for a special breed of human being.
Oh.
But your shoulders would be amazing. It would help with that back posture. So here we go. Timmy's top 5 yoga poses. Number 5 was the tree pose.
Oh, I like that one. I know that one.
Right? The tree pose, you stand like arms up in the air.
Are we going to put a photo up?
Yes.
Where are we going to put the photo? Are we going to put it like right here?
It will show up.
Here?
Maybe.
Ooh, what if we put it like right here?
Oh, right there. Okay. So if you're listening, you'll have to go over and see these poses. Also during the week sometimes, they'll be on our Instagram page. So the tree pose. It looked really easy. So your hands are in the air and you do like this thing where you fold your one leg and you got to put your foot on the inside of your thigh.
Yeah, you got to like bend your leg.
It's like bending like a triangle thing. And it looks really simple. But I realized very quickly that I couldn't keep first of all, I'd have to like hold my leg and like lift it into position and move it into the right spot. And then, one leg was stronger than the other.
Isn't that the trick to the tree pose? Is the foot that is off the ground is to be rooted. I say rooted because that's like a yoga term, right?
And for tree pose, very, very appropriate.
To be rooted into your other leg so that way you can ground yourself with the foot that's on the ground.
Yes.
No pun intended. And
it should have been intended. It's very well done.
And so you need to kind of push that leg into your other leg or your foot into your leg.
When I first pulled that off and realized that I was able to have balance like this with my leg bent in, I was like, okay, I see this. Because I also didn't realize how important balance was.
See, I do the swaying tree.
That's a good move, a good yoga move. The swaying tree. Actually, they call it yoga. It's funny. I always think it's funny when they say the reason why we call it yoga practice is because we're always practicing. We never get there. And so if you sway, that's exactly what somebody would say. Oh, that's okay. You're doing the swaying tree. Yoga is actually kind of very much, although it's an ancient form of health and exercise type of thing, it's very much fits in today's culture of everybody wins. It's like you can't do yoga wrong. Oh, that's okay. You fell over. You're the falling over tree.
That's not true because I went to the gym one time and I signed up for a yoga class and I remember I was in the didn't want to go in the back because I didn't want to draw attention to myself. I also wanted to be able to see, but I didn't want to sit in the front. But yeah, somehow she was like, "Are you okay?" And at that moment, I was like, yeah. Do I not look okay? And she says, not really.
Just doing my yoga practice. I'm practicing.
I'm practicing not to fall over and pass out because I don't know what we were like.
But I've seen you do the tree. You can actually do a tree pretty well.
Yes,
Number
I do know that one.
Number 4 blew my mind, and it was the headstand, which you absolutely
that doesn't feel like yoga, although it does a good stretch on the.
So here's what it was that blew my mind. Number 1, I quickly understood the benefit of being upside down.
Yes.
We have an inversion table,
I don't know why they call it that.
Just
you don't
hanging
eat on
upside
it.
down, well, I guess you
Should
could.
be a bed, inversion bed.
But just the gravity pulling on your spine, you feel it.
Yep.
And
all the way down your spine.
And you should spend some part of every day upside down, just because of, like you figure.
But we spend all day right side up.
No wonder when you're 80, you start to crouch like this, because you've had 80 years of gravity, like pretty much pulling you down.
Well, fun fact, they actually say you're taller in the morning than you are at nighttime, because when you lay down at night, your back like stretches itself out.
That's why people take pictures of themselves in bed, makes them look taller. So the headstand, what was neat about the headstand for me was, and if you've never been able to try one, number one, I had never done one before. So I put my hands on the table and I was working with at Creekside Yoga in Sterling, Ontario. That's the place that got me going. And so it was just me, and so it was kind of like a specialty class, even though it was supposed to be other people there, but it was just me. Or a 2-on-1. So I go to do the thing, and you got to bend your knees and slowly like straighten your leg. Mm-hmm. And I was amazed at how quickly I was able to do it. And the reason why I was amazed was because I shouldn't be able to just do something for the first time and do it decently like that. But then I realized how important the core workout was in holding yourself up in that position. And I had already spent at that point like 2 years of doing regular yoga classes. And so I had developed the core strength to be able to do it. It's kind of like when my daughter, she learned to ride a bicycle the very first time she got on the bike. I didn't even have to hold the bottom, because she was on a tricycle for so long that and people be like, how, she doesn't ride a regular bike yet? I'm like, no, she's having fun on this little trike. That by the time she had got on a bike, she had, she was older than most kids that try to buy a bike, but by then she'd already developed the motor skills and the balance and all that stuff. So by the time she got on the bike, I think sometimes we throw people into things way too early. And so we're like, oh, there's a learning curve. It's like, well, maybe there's no learning curve. Maybe you just put people into things way too quickly, because she picked it up like that because her body had developed to the point of doing it. I don't know. I know what child you're talking about. I think it was just she was having too much fun and going way too fast, that there was no not riding the bike. It was just... She might have just been a really quick learner. But that's what the headstand thing was. I realized that at that time, I realized I had developed some sort of core strength. Number 3 on Timmy's top 5 yoga moves is the cow-facing legs. So the cow-facing legs, photo. I'm all confused because, I don't get to see this photo, but is it like a cow facing a pair of legs? Well, you've got your knees like this, or like this. Let's do it like, well, you can see. So they'll see the picture, but I'm doing this for your own benefit. Okay. But, so it's like this. Your knees are like this. Oh, no, I'm looking at the photo. Stacked on top. Okay. So look at the photo. Okay. So the knees are stacked on top of each other. And then you fold over and touch, well, in my case, I touch my chin to my knees. I did not know the importance of your hips. Sounds painful. I think it's cow facing because it's like, it looks like carrying a cow's face. Anyways. It's not a leg facing cow? No. I mean, that might be the name of another. Believe me, the names that these things, and this isn't even the official name, it's